Imagine walking down a quiet street tomorrow morning and finding a crisp, clean 500 rupee note lying abandoned right there on the concrete pavement. Your heart instantly takes a quick leap of pure, unexpected joy, and you immediately start planning how you will spend this completely free bonus money. But now I want you to imagine an alternate reality where you leave your house with that exact same amount, but you accidentally drop it. The intense, burning frustration of realizing your pocket is completely empty will ruin your entire afternoon, even though your net financial position is completely unchanged. Psychologists have spent decades trying to understand why a minor loss ruins our day so much more than an identical financial gain builds us up. What you are experiencing in that moment is a hidden flaw in your evolutionary biological programming that affects every single financial decision you make. This hidden mental bug dictates whether you save your money, how you choose your career path, and why you stay in bad relationships way too long. Almost nobody ever sits down to explain this phenomenon to us in plain language, even though multi-billion-dollar corporations use it against us every single day. Before we unlock the most disturbing part of how modern tech companies exploit this glitch, we have to understand the foundational secret of your brain. I break down exactly one powerful psychological concept per video in plain English. So if you want to understand your own hidden behavior, please hit subscribe. Back in the year 1979, two brilliant researchers named Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky completely shattered everything we believed about human logic. They published a legendary scientific framework known as prospect theory, which eventually won a Nobel Prize for radically changing the entire field of economics. Before their groundbreaking work, traditional scientists assumed that human beings were completely rational creatures who valued money through simple, cold math equations. Traditional economics stated that winning 1,000 rupees should give you the exact same amount of joy that losing 1,000 rupees gives you pain. But Kahneman and Tversky proved that our minds do not operate on clean mathematics, because human beings are completely asymmetrical when processing emotional reality. They discovered that the psychological pain of losing something is mathematically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining that exact same thing. Stop and think about the last time you felt absolute panic because you thought you misplaced your smartphone or your leather wallet containing your cards. I want you to actually visualize that sudden, cold shock freezing your chest before you realize your device was just sitting in your other pocket. That intense, visceral burst of adrenaline did not evolve to help you manage your modern bank account or evaluate your personal investments logically. Our primitive ancestors survived in incredibly harsh environments where a single mistake meant starvation, while an extra bit of food was just a bonus. Your brain evolved to prioritize avoiding danger over seeking rewards, meaning we are naturally wired to fear a loss more than we desire a gain. The official scientific name for this deep-seated evolutionary mechanism is loss aversion, and once you understand it, you will see it absolutely everywhere. To prove this undeniable truth to the world, the researchers designed a simple coin toss experiment that sounds like a guaranteed winning bet. Imagine a researcher walks up to you today with a perfectly fair coin and offers to flip it right in front of your face. If the coin lands on tails, you must immediately hand over 100 rupees of your own hard-earned cash to the researcher. But if the coin lands on heads, the researcher promises to pay you an amount that you get to decide before the flip. Ask yourself right now what the minimum amount of winning money would have to be for you to accept that 50-50 gamble. Clean, rational mathematics states that any amount over 101 rupees makes this a mathematically smart bet for you to take. Yet, when this experiment is run across thousands of people globally, the average person demands at least 200 rupees before playing. People refuse to risk losing 100 rupees unless the potential reward is twice as large as the potential damage they might face. This brings us directly to the most counterintuitive part of the trap. And trust me, this specific insight will completely change how you shop. Massive consumer companies understand this exact multiplier perfectly, and they design their entire sales funnels to trigger your primitive fear of losing. Think about the last time you signed up for a completely free 30-day trial for a streaming platform or a premium software service. The company confidently gives you full access for 0 rupees because they know that your psychological reference point shifts during those 30 days. Once the software becomes part of your daily routine, canceling the trial no longer feels like walking away from a potential purchase option. Your brain processes canceling that trial as losing something you already own, which feels twice as painful as paying the monthly subscription fee. This is the exact same reason why clothing stores desperately want you to take items into the physical changing room to try them on. The exact moment you see yourself wearing that outfit in the mirror, your mind subconsciously claims ownership of that specific physical item. Walking back out to hand that shirt back to the retail staff now triggers a mini loss response, forcing you to buy it. This cognitive bias explains why we hold on to terrible investments in the stock market while watching our hard-earned capital slowly burn away. When an investment drops below your purchase price, selling it forces you to realize the loss and accept the reality of being wrong. To avoid that sharp emotional pain, your brain convinces you to hold on to the failing asset for years, hoping it will break even. Meanwhile, you will quickly sell your winning stocks far too early just to lock in a tiny, comforting feeling of guaranteed victory. Stay with me for the next 2 minutes, because what I am about to show you applies to your daily life outside of finance. This exact same mental glitch is the hidden reason why millions of intelligent people stay stuck in miserable corporate jobs for decades. The certain, predictable nature of a monthly salary feels like an asset you cannot afford to lose, even if you absolutely despise the work. The vague, uncertain prospect of finding a significantly better career path feels like a massive risk that your brain naturally wants to reject. We are continuously optimized by nature to protect our current status quo, even when that status quo is making us completely miserable. You will stay in a toxic relationship or keep a broken car because your mind overvalues what you have already invested into them. Now the full picture snaps into place, and you can see how this evolutionary survival mechanism operates as a modern psychological prison. Every single time you overpay for insurance, refuse to start a business, or hoard useless junk in your house, you are falling victim. But here is the good news. Because simply being aware of this cognitive bias allows you to completely reprogram your decision-making process. The next time you are terrified of making a change, ask yourself if you are genuinely facing danger or just fearing a minor loss. Force yourself to look at the massive opportunity cost of remaining completely stagnant, because standing still is often the biggest financial loss of all. So let us pull this entire concept together so you can carry this invaluable mental framework with you for the rest of your life. We learned that losing 500 rupees hurts twice as much as finding that same amount brings joy due to our evolutionary biology. We uncovered how multi-billion-dollar companies use free trials and return policies to trick your mind into staying attached to their products. And finally, we realized how this fear keeps us completely paralyzed in bad investments, unfulfilling careers, and stagnant patterns of daily human life. If you want to continue mastering the hidden psychological forces that control your money and mindset, make sure to subscribe right now. Please share this video with one person you know who deserves to understand this truth, because one conversation could change how they see wealth.